Ozzie, 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 oi. Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. Now I'm super excited about this one and I know you will be too because I know a lot of you love diggers. That's right, check out all this equipment behind me. I've come down to a place called MCS Civil and they have all sorts of construction equipment, lots of big diggers and rollers and water tanks, but we're going to focus on this one today and that's an 8-ton excavator. That's right, it's just a really big digger. We're going to get up close and personal and Ozzie is even going to drive it. So why don't we go and get stuck in? But before we do, safety first of course. I need to get into my safety gear. So, I've got the two important things, a hard hat and a high-vis shirt. Let's go and take a closer look. So kids, come with me and let's check out the outside of the digger and we'll check out all the different parts. So these diggers don't have wheels, they have these, which are called tracks, and that's what helps the digger drive forwards and backwards. We've got some mirrors so that we can see where we're going when we're driving. So this big thing here, this big arm, that's called a boom up to here, and then the end of it is called a dipper, and at the end of the dipper is a bucket. And that arm is controlled by these hydraulic cylinders. Now this thing, this bucket, this particular one is called a mud bucket. That's because it's really big and it can pick up lots and lots of dirt. Then it's got this smooth edge because it's used for finishing and getting a nice smooth finish on the surface of the job that you're working on. We also have buckets that have really big teeth on the end and they're used for breaking rocks and digging big holes. Let's go and see what else we can find. Check this thing out. This thing's called a blade. It's like a mini bulldozer, isn't it? And that's used for pushing the dirt and materials forward. So this side is another track and that's used for driving us forwards and backwards. And this big thing here, that's called the cab. And that's where the driver sits and uses all those different controls to make the bucket go up and down and the arm move left and right. We'll get into detail in a minute, but let's check out the rest. On the back here, we've got some safety features. We've got the flashing light at the top. We've got a camera so that you can see what's behind you when you're driving. And a really important one, that's the safety stop button. So if anything's going wrong, bang, you hit that and everything shuts down. You can be safe. And then of course at the back here, that's where the engine sits. And that's what drives and keeps this beautiful digger going. So, should we get inside, see if we can give it a drive? Let's go. Safety first, kids. Put this thing down. Let's go. Woohoo! How cool is this? So there's so many different controls in this cab. You can see that one that I was holding with my left hand made the cab go to the right. And if I went the other way, it would go back to the left. This one, that's going to make the arm go up and down and the bucket go tilt back or tilt forwards. Let's see it in action. Look at that. So I'm going to reach out and I'm going to see if I can grab that big bit of dirt there. So kids, I've just picked up a big lot of dirt and I need to move it back around this way to make sure the vehicle is nice and sturdy. All right, so now with that facing forward, we're a whole lot more stable. So to drive it forwards, we just need to push these two handles here, which you can also do with your feet. How cool is that? That way we can have our hands on the handles and our feet on the pedals. And then when we've got it to where we need to be, we're just going to use our hands and we're going to push the bucket and the arm out, and we're going to dump it out onto the ground. And how cool is that? We've moved the arm and the bucket and we've moved some dirt. Hey, how much fun is that? This control on the left hand here, if I push it to the right, it's going to spin the whole cab around to the right. And if I push it the other way, which is our left, it's going to spin to the left. And then this control on my right hand, if I pull it up, it's going to make that arm go up, up, up into the air. Just like that. And I can push this left hand out and it makes the bucket go out. And I pull it down and it makes the bucket come back in. And push this one down, makes it go down. And remember, with our feet, we can drive forward and I'm going to reach out and pick up some more dirt. Okay kids, so we've seen how that boom and the dipper and the bucket, which makes the big arm of the excavator, we've seen how that works and moves the dirt around. I'm going to show you now using this lever how we operate the blade. So we're going to push the lever down and then using these two handles we can move the excavator forward and that pushes the dirt and makes it nice and smooth and flat. Look at all that dirt. So we're using it almost like a bulldozer. And then when it's where we need it to be, we can just move backwards, always making sure we have a look in the camera and our mirrors to make sure that there's no one around us. Because safety first, always, kids. So I'll show you again, just with that blade down like that, and we want to go forwards. Just like a mini bulldozer, look at all that dirt that we're pushing forwards, pushing it, and making the ground nice and flat. How cool is this? So much fun driving a big digger like this. So who wants to be a construction worker when they're older and drive big diggers like this? It's so much fun. Big thank you to MCS Civil for allowing Ozzie to come down and teach you kids all about this awesome digger. See you on our next video. Until then, stay keen.
Ozzie, 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 oi. Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. Another really exciting one. Today we're going to learn about another type of digger. This one behind me is called a posi track. They're only little small machines, but they're super fun and they can do some awesome things. Let's go and check them out and find out all about the posi track. Let's go. Let's start by having a look at some of the features on the outside of the posi track. Now this thing here, that's called the bucket. And you can see it's big and wide and super strong because that's what we use to crush the rocks and pick up the soil and the materials on the building site. This one you can see has those sharp teeth and that's what we use for crushing the rocks, and it's also got a smooth edge which we use to smooth out the soil at the end of a job. Over here we've got the hydraulic cylinders, and this one here picks up the bucket and lowers it down, and then the one at the end here, that's what helps pick up this arm and get that bucket nice and high into the air. Now this guy here, that's called a track. Now there are other machines that look really similar to this, same shape and size, but they have wheels and they're called skid steers. But the benefit of having a track instead of wheels is that it allows us to go over bumpier ground more easy. So this guy is pretty cool. Let's come around the back and see what else we've got. You can see some safety features up the top there. We've got the flashing yellow light, we've got headlights and rear lights that allow us to see where we're going. And the thing in the middle, that's a camera. So when we're driving the posi track, you can actually see what's behind you. Pretty cool. And this is where the engine lives. And the engine is what gives us the power to drive the posi track. And then this guy here, super important safety feature, because if anything's going wrong, we just need to go bam, hit that, and it shuts everything off really quickly. And over on this side, we've got another track. So we've got one on each side, and you can see that it starts up high and then comes down low. And the reason for that shape is that that allows the posi track to go faster over the bumpy ground. So she's pretty versatile, this one. Let's go inside and check out some of the controls inside this thing, which is called the cab. So this is the inside of the posi track. And do you see how Ozzie just got in? That's right, I had to climb up through the bucket and through the front door of the posi track. Pretty cool, hey? So this is the cab, and this thing around me, this is called a roll cage. And that's a really key, important safety feature, so that if anything falls, the driver is going to be protected. Now, I've already got my high-vis vest on. I also need to put my hard hat on. Then, next important safety thing is our seatbelt. Now we're locked in, we're ready to go. But the posi won't start unless you're sitting down. So that's another really clever safety feature. And we're going to turn the key, and we're in business. Now we've got these awesome controls in here, and that's what makes the bucket go up and down, open and close, and that's what makes the posi track go forward and backwards. But none of those are going to work until we pull the arms down. Another cool safety feature. All right, I think we're ready to go. We're all locked in, we've got our safety features on. Now I'm going to show you what the two handles do and how to drive the posi. So this one on the right, if I pull it up, that's going to lift those arms. And if I drop it down, it's going to drop it back down. Now this one on the left, that's what we're going to use to move the posi forward, backwards, and left and right. Let's have a look. Forwards and backwards. And to the right. And to the left. How cool is this machine? Let's see what it can do. So just like lots of other construction vehicles, this posi has different types of buckets that goes on the front. This one is called a 4-in-1, and that's because it goes open and shut and up and down. Let's have a look. So you can see I'm using the flat part of the bucket to try and flatten out the ground. This machine is super cool. How much fun is the little posi track? Kids, I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Lots to learn, lots to do. I reckon I need a bit more driving experience before I get confident using this. But hey, practice makes perfect. Kids, how awesome was that? Getting to learn all about this great little digger, the posi track. I learned lots today, and I hope you guys did too. And hopefully one day, just like Ozzie, you'll get to have a turn of the posi track. We'll see you on the next video, kids, and until then, stay keen. I'm going for one more drive. Make sure you get a grown-up to help you hit subscribe. That way, you won't miss out on any of the new videos that come out. And did you happen to find the hidden Aussie icon in that video? Make sure you look really closely because they're in every single video. And we'll see you again soon. Until then, stay keen. Don't forget to follow Ozzie on our social channels at Ozzie for Kids. Feel free to send us some ideas on what you want to learn about next, what sports you'd like to play, jobs you want Ozzie to feature, vehicles you're fascinated with, or any subjects you'd like to know more about. I'm just as keen as you, so together, let's learn more. And if you've got any friends that you think might like Ozzie, don't forget to tell them too. See you next time, kids. Until then, stay keen.
Ozzie, 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 oi. Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of